Thank you for tuning in to TalkWad.com, the world's fastest growing internet radio network. Please check out all the other great shows on www.talkwad.com.
What if your customers are trying to find your business online, but instead of finding you, they find your competitors? Now, more than ever, it's time to make sure you have the right SEO to make your business stand out online. Welcome to Go Mind Your Business with Terry Bork, presented by Extreme Marketing Concepts, putting your business in front of the hungry herd of buyers who are looking for you right now. Extreme Marketing Concepts, helping you drive more traffic, dominate the market, and crush your competition. And now, here's Terry.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Go Mind Your Business here on the All Your Business radio show brought to you by the TalkWad Studios. We are here in Clearwater, Florida today, and I'm with a very special guest. Her name is Valerie DeVecchio. Welcome, Valerie, to our program.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure to have you here. Valerie is with Divine Creations, which is an event planner here in the Tampa Bay area. I'm going to tell you a little bit about her company and a little bit about Valerie. And I know that a lot of us, especially those of us who have big, exciting events coming up in the future, weddings, holiday parties, networking events, whatever it is, she can help you with so many things. And I'm so excited to share that with all of you today. So let me tell you a little bit about Valerie's company, Divine Creations. The mission of Divine Creations Incorporated is to maintain a well-respected and high-quality, full-service event planning company designed to meet the specific needs and vision of each individual client. Founded in 2002, Divine Creations strives to assist their clients in bringing their imagination to life by offering creativity, knowledge, and expertise. They understand that success of a special event depends on proper preparation, extreme attention to detail, and complete follow-through. They offer peace of mind to their clients by providing an experienced consultant who can bring a wealth of expertise and talent critical to turn dreams into reality. As a member of the Wedding and Event Professionals of Tampa Bay, Business Networking International, or BNI, and the Tampa Bay Event Association, they strive to uphold a strict code of ethics and high standards. And to tell you a little bit more about Valerie DeVecchio, she's the founder and president of Divine Creations, and she brings 16 years of professional working experience in creating and coordinating special events. Valerie's expertise includes large and small events, such as nonprofit fundraisers, corporate events, weddings, and holiday parties. As a skilled contract negotiator and possessing excellent networking abilities, Valerie is able to save her clients time, stress, and money, as well as provide them with extensive contacts and resources in the Tampa Bay community. With a passion for planning events, Valerie strives to make each occasion special and memorable for everyone involved. She's a strong believer that every event should be uniquely in tune with each client's vision, and that preparation should be fun and exciting without the stress that can sometimes occur in the event planning process. Valerie is a graduate of Virginia Tech with degrees in international business, political science, and French. She also has successfully completed intensive training courses related to the wedding and event planning industry and nonprofit management. Again, please welcome Valerie DeVecchio to our program.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, so you have a tremendous background that you're able to bring here. Tell us how you got into the event planning business to begin with.
Well, before I started planning events professionally, I was always the person who volunteered to do the events or the fundraising charity functions for any organization I was involved in. And I never really understood why I had such a passion for planning events until I went through the Certified Networker program through the Referral Institute. And I actually realized that it kind of stemmed from my childhood. And we have a very large extended family. And our tradition was to get together for the Thanksgiving holiday. So we all kind of got together in the den around the fire. You know, it was in Virginia, so it's cold. And you're just kind cracking jokes and catching up on what everybody's been doing, but there was always one person missing. And that happened to be my aunt because she was in the kitchen preparing everything. Now, of course, everybody always offered to help, but as the hostess of the party or the event, she wanted everybody else to relax and enjoy each other's company, and she took it all upon herself. And she missed the most important part of our holiday tradition. It wasn't about the food. It wasn't about, the pretty centerpieces. It was about everybody getting together. So, that's a gift I can bring my clients because they are able to relax and enjoy their friends and family or their colleagues, whatever the event may be, in that they know that the event's going to happen exactly as they envisioned it because I've listened to what they want, but they don't have to take that time to take care of all the details. That's going to be handled for them. So, when you're having a wedding or a bar bat mitzvah for your child, you're never going to get all these people in the room together for a happy occasion all that often.
Right.
So why not enjoy it?
That makes sense. Kind of wish that the holidays were more than just one day so that you can really spend time with everybody.
Right.
It's really the only time you see them is weddings and holidays or funerals.
Right. So
And
we said,
you don't want the
happy
last one.
occasion.
Yeah. Got that. I got that. So what kind of experience do you have to have in the industry before you open events? Events by Divine Creations.
I started my event planning experience professionally in the nonprofit agency sector.
Okay.
Always planning their fundraising events.
Okay.
I worked for organizations such as the American Diabetes Association or the Center for Women in Tampa. And, I figured if you can plan an event and you have to beg for everything because you have no money, it's nonprofit and everything needs to be donated, and you can turn around and have it be very successful and the talk of the town, imagine what kind of event I could do if somebody actually did have a budget. So I started Divine Creations in 2002. We just celebrated our 10th anniversary, and I'm able to use that experience. I think gives me a leg up on the competition because a lot of them will not actually take a client unless they have a certain amount of money to spend. But because of that experience working for a nonprofit and the extensive vendor network that I've created, I'm able to do a little bit of a smaller budget than most event planners and actually have it be the event that they've always wanted.
That's fabulous. If you're looking for an event planner, you're going to want to give Valerie a call. She's happy to answer any questions that you do have. You can reach Valerie DeVecchio of Divine Creations Incorporated by calling her at 813-839-5824. She also has a wonderful website that's packed full of great information that can help you in planning your event. And you can visit that by going to TampaEventPlanner.com. Now, Val, you're in Tampa Bay, but you service other communities as well.
Absolutely.
Correct?
I actually have done events all over the state of Florida and out of state. I have clients like a law firm who've sent me to Chicago or DC or all over the place. So if there's a convention going on and they want to do a special event around that convention, I'll travel.
Okay, awesome. That's terrific. So tell us more about the events that you like to plan.
Well, I like to do a wide variety. I'm not the kind of person who wants to do the same cookie cutter event every time. And I don't think that's the way it should be. So I do corporate events, employee retreats, holiday parties, annual customer appreciations, things of that nature. I do nonprofit fundraisers. When I got out of the nonprofit world, I thought, never going to do that again. But they actually ended up being some of my largest clients.
Okay.
And then on the social side, I do weddings, bar bat mitzvahs, milestone birthday parties, vow renewals, rehearsal dinners, all kinds of things.
Okay, great. Do you provide services in people's homes?
We do, yes. If they're having like a holiday party or a dinner party, we do.
Okay, great. So how did you come up with your tagline, be a guest at your own event?
Well, I was actually just brainstorming with a friend and we came, it used to be bringing your imagination to life. And I just wanted something that kind of incorporated what I really felt. And we kind of came up with this one and it felt right. And then in hindsight, go after learning about why I did things, why I fell into the event planning industry and why I'm so passionate about it. If it's right in line with the story that I had is be a guest at your own event so that, nobody's being left out of that special day.
Right. Okay. I got that. How do you get most of your business?
Most of our business is by referral.
Okay.
About 80% probably comes by referral. We have happy clients and they tell their friends.
Right.
Or we're doing an event and somebody comes up and asks for a business card because they like what they see. But we also, have a website like you mentioned, and we're ranked pretty high on the search engines. And so we do get some clients from online as well. But we don't do a lot of paid advertising because we really believe word of mouth and referral is the best way.
Oh, it truly, truly is. How do you handle getting clients how do you handle clients who live maybe out of state or they're unable to meet with you during normal business hours?
Well, we've had clients as far away as Hong Kong.
Oh, wow.
And I met them 2 days before their wedding. So in today's world, with all the technology, you can plan through email and phone calls and Skype. And I mean, it's just amazing. And then for the busy professional who can't get away during the workday, we're open by appointment only. So we're able to do evening and weekend appointments to accommodate their schedules.
Oh, that's fabulous. Terrific. There's so many reality wedding shows on TV today. What do you think about all those programs?
Some of them are really great. You can get some great ideas. What are the newest trends? New York and LA, quite frankly, they get the trends way before Tampa does. So sometimes, you can really find some great inspiration. And if you have the right kind of client that fits with their personality and their style, you kind of look like a genius that you're coming up with this new thing that nobody's ever heard about. And then there's on the flip side, the ones where, quite frankly, you're thinking, I will never get that hour of my life back because all you've done is watch somebody screaming or fighting or, yelling at everybody. And I don't watch those. And sometimes, when you're planning a wedding, you have to be a sanity check, I guess, for your client because they'll come in and they'll say, oh, I saw this most amazing, wedding where there's flowers hanging from the ceiling that is covered in this silk fabric. And I want that for my wedding. And I'm like, okay, let's talk about the cost that's associated with that. And quite frankly, most brides don't have $1 million+ to put towards their wedding. And there's a reason why the word platinum is in the title. So let's think gold or silver, wherever your budget is, and come up with something that's comparable that you're still going to be wowed about, but not with that high cost.
Got that. Okay. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. If you're just joining us, we're speaking with Valerie DeVecchio, president of Divine Creations in Tampa here. And if you have questions about an event that you'd like to throw or have questions overall about event planning, give her a call at 813-839-5824. A lot of people think, I'm having this big event, but I can do it myself.
Sure.
What are the benefits of hiring an event planner to help them take care of that instead of doing it themselves?
Well, part of my mission statement is talking about saving people time, stress, and money.
Sure.
And the big thing is financial. A lot of people think, oh, an event planner, that's just an extra expense. But in reality, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to be able to save my clients way more money than what it costs to hire me. You could go to a vendor and ask for something, and I'll go to the exact same vendor and ask for the exact same things. And more often than not, I'm either going to get it for a better price or I'm going to get additional things thrown in. And that's because they look at you as a one-time event and I have the ability to bring them repeat business. So they're very smart in that they're going to try and make me happy. And those benefits, my clients receive those benefits. So there's the financial aspect. There's also the time-saving aspect. On average to plan a wedding, the couple takes about 250 hours to plan a wedding. And if you have a job and you want to have a life outside of planning the wedding so you can actually prepare for the marriage, not just the day, hiring somebody to take a lot of that off of you is a great time saver. Let's say, for example, I had a client who just said, I just want to move up my ceremony by half an hour. Not a problem, because all she had to do was tell me. I had to communicate to the other 25 people that were involved, but that saved her a ton of time, and it was not a big deal. But she would have been on the phone and playing phone tag with all these people versus just telling me what she wanted to do, and I was able to do it. And lastly, it's the stress factor. It can be stressful planning an event, and life happens. I've seen vendors get in accidents. I've seen the cake get dropped. I've seen all kinds of different things happen. If you've got somebody with some experience, they are able to really think on their feet and troubleshoot. And it should look to you and your guests like nothing went wrong that day. And if you're doing it yourself and something goes wrong, do you really want to be sitting there worrying about this?
Right.
On that one occasion.
Right. Oh, that makes complete sense. So let's talk about the saving money portion on hosting an event. Tell me how you can help our brides or anybody who's planning an event save money.
Yeah, and this goes for brides or it goes for, corporations. Everybody's looking to do it in a most cost-effective way. Selecting a date, that's a big one. Having your event off season will actually save you a lot of money. And here in Florida, our off season is like mid-June to mid-September. Why?
Hot.
Yeah. And there's also the potential of hurricanes.
Sure.
So, but if you have an event and you're able to hold it inside or you have that type of venue, that's going to save you a lot of money is doing it off season because there's not much going on. Vendors are way more willing to negotiate. You can also pick an off date. Friday and Saturday nights, prime time. So if you can do it on a Sunday or you can do it on a weeknight, especially for companies, that's going to save a lot of money. And then the time as well. Dinner, way more expensive than lunch. So if you can incorporate it into a luncheon, that's going to save you a lot of money. Food and beverage, that is probably the biggest cost factor for any event. It's about 50% of your budget. So doing food, there's kind of that myth that a buffet is less expensive than a plated meal. Not really the case, but if you could go heavy hors d'oeuvre or what we call action stations, you can have like a mashed potato bar or a pasta salad, pasta bar, things like that. That's actually going to save you more money to go the heavy hors d'oeuvres. And of course, on the bar, if you just limit it to beer and wine versus doing a full bar, that's going to save you a lot of money. There are some venues that allow you to bring in outside food and beverage. That's going to save a ton of money. If you can purchase your own alcohol, because going to a hotel, about anywhere between a 200 and a 400% markup on alcohol. If you can purchase your own alcohol, that'll save you a lot of money, but I totally recommend that you get a professional bartending service because they carry the liability insurance, and that takes a lot of pressure off of you. And my last tip on saving money would be your guest list. If you haven't seen these friends or those people in 5 years, probably shouldn't be on the guest list.
Got that. Okay.
Less guests equals less money,
Right, yeah.
So that's the biggest factor.
Can you go back to the alcohol piece? Are hotels and venues willing to negotiate with you to bring in your own alcohol, or do they really want you to use their alcohol?
Yeah, any hotel, they carry the liquor license. So you have to use theirs, or restaurants, or any place that serves alcohol on a regular basis.
Okay.
So you have to use theirs.
Okay.
Are they willing to negotiate on the rates? Absolutely. Especially if you have a professional event planner.
Okay, great.
But
Well,
there
these are
are
things you don't think about.
venues that are just like garden clubs or, places that are just the four walls. And what you're renting is you're renting four walls, maybe some tables and chairs, and you have to bring everything else in. Those places, you can bring in your own stuff.
Got it. Okay, great. Well, that's great tips there, folks. It's worth the price of admission alone.
There you go.
Are there any, or what are some of the do's and don'ts of planning an event?
Well, my big first do would be hire a professional event planner for all the reasons that we just talked about, saving you the time, stress, and money. Another big do is get everything in writing. If it's not in writing, it does not exist. The person that you might be signing the contract with, who's telling you all these great things that they're going to do for you and offer you, but it's all verbal, they might not be the person that's there that is in at your event time because, quite frankly, hotels have a pretty high turnover rate in that department. So you want to make sure you get everything in writing. You also want to figure out your head count very early on because that's going to drive the venue that you want to get. It's also going to drive your budget. So those are some of the big do's. Some of the don'ts are, I would not recommend hiring friends over a professional. I know it can save money. And, I hear it all the time, especially in weddings. And they're like, I will save you money. I will give, this is my wedding gift to you. I will photograph your wedding. They do photography as a hobby, and maybe they take really great action shots of sports, or they are doing, nature scenes. But planning an event and capturing those moments without interrupting that moment, totally different ballgame. So you want to make sure that you are getting the right professionals. You also don't want to book your vendors online. I know in today's technology, it's very tempting and they offer deals, but meeting somebody face to face actually will let you see their body language and their reaction to the questions that you're answering. And, if their voice is like nails down a chalkboard to you,
Right.
do you really want them around on your big day? So, and my last big don't is, don't really worry about pleasing everybody. You're never going to get 100+ people in a room and have everybody be happy. Young people are going to be like, the music's not loud enough. The older people are going to be like, the music's too loud, So as long as you're happy, or this is important, the person who's paying for it is happy, like the boss or the parents.
Right.
Then that's what you need to worry about.
Super. Excellent advice. Thank you so much. You are listening to Go Mind Your Business here on the All Your Business radio show, part of the TalkWad Network, sponsored today by Extreme Marketing Concepts. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back after these messages. And we're back. Welcome back to Go Mind Your Business here on the All Your Business radio station at the TalkWad Network. Please check out some of the other shows on the station here at TalkWad Network by visiting them at talkwad.com. I want to thank Extreme Marketing Concepts for sponsoring us today. A lot of businesses have one of two problems. They either have a great reputation and no one knows about it, or they have a terrible reputation and everybody knows about it. And we can help you with both of those situations. Just give them a call at 813-863-1452. We are speaking with Valerie DeVecchio of Divine Creations Incorporated here in Tampa Bay. She is an event planner. You can learn more about her by visiting her website at www.tampaeventplanner.com. Or if you're having an event in the future and you have questions, she's happy to help you with anything that you'd like to get answered. You can reach her at 813-839-5824. So I know a lot of you may be asking yourself, what kind of questions do I need to consider before hiring vendors? So how do you answer some of these types of questions, Valerie?
I would say one of the questions would be to ask, how long have you been doing this professionally?
Okay.
The key being professionally.
Mm-hmm.
Some people will say, like for event planners, I'm certified. That's great, but it's the hands-on experience that's actually going to take you to the next level.
Mm-hmm.
That's what makes a professional a true professional. So everyone in the industry's got to get started somewhere. We all know it. But if they think they know it all or can do it all, that's a problem. If I've been in the industry 16 years. I will never claim that I know it all or can do it all. We all know our limitations. So, you can only learn so much from books. It's having that experience that really is the key. Another question I would ask is this your full-time profession? A lot of people do it on the side. to me, honestly, if you can't support yourself in doing what you love, it's a hobby because you've got to be able to dedicate 100% of your time in polishing your technique and learning, continuing education, learning new things, and improving your skills. So that's important. Um, Making sure that they carry the proper licenses is right. Yeah. Making sure that they are through the state of Florida. You can go on sunbiz.org, just to check them out, make sure they're licensed through the state of Florida. Pinellas County doesn't require a separate license for business, but Hillsborough County, they require a county license. And if you're within the city limits, you have to have a county and a city of Tampa license. So that's important to know. And I think the most important question to ask any vendor is going to be, do you carry insurance? And if so, what kind? In my opinion, all vendors, regardless of what their profession is, need to carry a minimum of general liability insurance. If they are service-based, they should also carry professional liability insurance, and workers' comp is important. So let's say the photographer leaves a bag or a tripod, sitting on the ground, somebody trips over it and falls and hurts themselves. It's your event. If that vendor does not have any insurance, guess who they're coming after? That would be you. So that's a really, really important thing.
Got it. Yeah, those are really important things to consider when you are planning an event. Valerie, what kind of things can I do to personalize or customize my event so that it's different and memorable?
There's a lot of ways, like on the social side, that you can customize it according to maybe your ethnic or cultural traditions. For example, I just recently saw a client she was Dutch, and they did a wishing tree. So instead of a guest book where people just sign their name and you pack it away and put it in a box, they had a tree up and people wrote words of wisdom or advice for them and hung it on the tree. And that way they knew who was there, and then also had these great little tokens. You can do table names instead of table numbers. So maybe it's places you've been, or if it's a company services that you provide with a little background story. So, instead of just being at table number 1, you can be at, Puerto Vallarta. And maybe that's where you, took your first trip together or something of that nature. Photo booths are a popular trend. These are great because you can, have a couple in there, or you can cram 10 people in there, and then you can actually get a scrapbook where people write, messages to you. I threw a 40th surprise birthday party for my husband, and I had a photo booth there, and he was just like amazed to having all these strips. And, as the evening goes on and the bar gets more and more frequent, it gets pretty entertaining. So those are some great ways.
I was at a party, and with the photo booth, they had some props.
Oh, yes.
So the props were great because we were flappers, and different people were wearing boas, and
absolutely.
Oh my gosh,
gotta have the props.
Yep. Oh, it was very fun and very unique and different. Great. Tipping. Let's talk about tipping for a minute. What is appropriate for vendors?
Gratuities are a great way to express your gratitude if somebody goes above and beyond. It is 100% at your discretion. And this tipping is for service vendors. This is not if somebody's going to provide you a product, because there's already a markup in the product. But if they're service-based, this is a great way to kind of say thank you. It's at your discretion. 10 to 20% of their contract rate is something to consider. But there's nothing written in stone. So I've heard and I've read about things that people say, if you own your own company, you shouldn't be tipping them, like if they're the owner of the business. I totally disagree with that, because it's the owner of the business is the one who's paying for the office space and paying for the insurance and has all the overhead. So it's totally appropriate. If you're going to tip, I would recommend cash instead of a check. But if you're going to write by check, write it to the person individually versus the company. Because especially if they don't own the company, then it's not going to go to them. Right. It's going to go to their boss.
Got it. Okay. We hear a lot about people who want to have green parties or going green when they're throwing a party. What are some ways that people can do that?
Sure. Yeah, eco-friendly. That's one of the ways, people love to do this. It's, who doesn't want to save the earth? The easiest thing that you can do that will make a big impact is actually put out recycling bins at your party instead of just trash cans. Now, the hotels will do that for you, but if you're having something at home or you're doing something, put out a recycling bin. Every December, my husband and I throw a holiday party for the same group of friends. We've been getting together for like 13 or 14 years. And I put recycling bins out. And then above the trash cans, I put notes and say, Santa says, please recycle. So
That's great.
that, people, it's just a little reminder, and it's a great way to make an impact. There's also a lot of websites that you can go to send your invitations online versus using the paper invitations. It's going to save you money. You don't have to buy it and pay for the postage. And nowadays, they've got cute graphics and pretty much for every occasion. I mean, it can be like my dog's having a birthday and they have something for you, you know. If you have the time and the patience and a really good dishwasher, the best way to go green is that you can use real china, real flatware, real glasses at your party. And just eliminating all of that disposable ware is going to save, a tremendous amount of trash. So there's a lot of ways to do those kind of things. And balloons, not very eco-friendly, but paper lanterns that light up. Not only are they reusable, that you can, keep them and reuse them, they do the kind of the same effect hanging, from your ceilings, and or a patio is a great way, things of that nature. So, if you could skip the balloons, it's a good way to do it.
Right. Okay. Oh, that makes a lot of sense. A lot of sense. What are some of the feeling on throwing rice or birdseed or some of that at the bride and groom when they get married? Is that still stuff that folks are still doing, or are they finding different ways to also incorporate that?
Yeah, and usually it's different ways. Birdseed, if it's outside, that's okay. Rice will actually kill the birds, so we don't want it
Right.
to go that way.
Right. Right.
You'll see some people do bubbles,
Uh-huh.
sparklers. I don't normally recommend the sparklers at a wedding because typically after a 5-hour open bar, your dress is kind of flammable and
Yeah.
people are thinking too clearly.
Got that.
I unfortunately did that for my wedding. Was not smart.
Maybe stick with the doves.
Yeah. Those types of things. Yeah. So there's a lot of things that you can do, but confetti and things of that nature is not the best way. So birdseeds, rose petals, they're biodegradable. So that's a great way, great thing as well.
Okay, got that. Can you share some of the newest wedding trends for 2013?
Yes. Let's see. Last year was the year of the metallics, especially like pewter. That was a big color. This year, believe it or not, the color of the year is mint green.
Mint green. Is that
Mint
to go along
green.
with the recycling colors?
No, but that's
Oh.
a good idea. Actually, vintage is very much coming back.
Oh, okay.
And when you think of the 1940s or the 1950s, a lot of bathroom tile,
Had it.
telephones,
Growing up.
appliances, typewriters. Mint green is what you saw. And so that's one of the big things of reasons why that color is becoming popular. And if you pair it with like a coral, maybe a lemon yellow, it makes a beautiful combination. It's really very stunning. Also, doing more lounge type or mix and mingle events, even at weddings or bar and bat mitzvahs, where you do like the stations I was talking about earlier with the heavy hors d'oeuvres. You incorporate lounge furniture, very, very popular. You can have couches and ottomans and really cool coffee tables and end tables that light up in LED. So, different colors to match your color scheme for your event. That's really popular. It kind of gives that chic and cool ambiance. And then using smaller tables instead of the big tables, tables of 4 to 5 instead of the big tables of 8 to 10, creates that more mix and mingle, and using those high top tables where you have a place to put your drink or stuff down, but not necessarily a seat. That's a very popular trend as well.
Okay, awesome. You are listening to Valerie DeVecchio here on Go Mind Your Business. She is with Divine Creations Incorporated. You can give her a call at 813-839-5824. Valerie, when people come to see you for the very first time and they sit down with you, what are some things that they can expect you to ask them as you go through the whole process with them?
Sure. I generally want to get to know them a little bit better. What's the objective behind the event? Is it a corporation that is trying to, throw an appreciation for their clients? Is it a wedding? That's a little bit of what's your style? What's your personality? One of the big questions I ask is, what do you want your guests saying when they're leaving your event? What do you want them to remember the most? Because that's going to tell me, if it's food that's important to you, is it entertainment that's important to you? Where do we need to prioritize in your budget? So I want to get to know you, and I want to get to know the objective behind your event a little bit more. Complimentary consultations always. We don't charge. And just to get an idea of what they're looking for, and also, what service I can offer them. I tell people, as much as they're interviewing me, I'm interviewing them, because I know I have a lot of competition, but I've been in the industry a long time. I've got a really good reputation. I don't have to take everybody that comes along, so I want to make sure it's going to be a good fit. Like I said earlier, when you're looking at hiring vendors, if my voice, when I don't have a cold and sound like this,
Oh, you're fine.
is like nails on a chalkboard, then I'm not the right person for you. Or if there's got to be a level of trust when you have an event planner, and granted that comes over time, but they've got to be comfortable in knowing that when I'm recommending something or I'm giving them a suggestion because it might not be in their budget and I'm offering a cost-saving alternative, that they actually, respect that, my opinion, and know that there's a reasoning behind it. I'm not just trying to push my own agenda. So there's got to be a level of trust in there.
I got that. Okay. Is there typically a time frame that people need to be working with? I mean, obviously, if you're getting married on Saturday and today is Tuesday, really not a good day to call Valerie, although I'm sure she'll accommodate if you can work together.
Right.
But, what's a period of time that's typically, a nice sweet spot for folks?
6 months to a year is probably a good time frame. I have clients, mostly bar and bat mitzvahs, that will book me 2 years out.
Okay.
And because they know their date and they want it. I've done events in as short a time frame as 2 to 3 weeks.
Okay.
So, but the sweet spot is probably 6 months to a year. People think, oh, you have to have a year, because when you go online to all these, for example, like a wedding website, it tells you, 12 months out, 9 months out, and all this. And if they're only 6 months out, it's got little exclamation points behind everything that they're late on doing. And I'm like, just disregard all of that. We can totally get it done in 6 months.
Right.
But, it's you also have to know your schedule. And if you are the type of person who's traveling for work all the time, or you're really busy, giving yourself some extra time so you're not stressing out, it's always a good thing for everybody involved.
Okay, that makes perfect sense. So tell me about some of the more elaborate affairs that you've done.
Well, let's see. I've done, last year I did an event for an RNC client for the
Okay.
Republican National Convention.
Yes.
And we had a home on Bayshore Boulevard in Tampa that we used. And then obviously with the head count that we had to tent the yard.
Mhm.
Now, you're thinking, oh, great, a tent. You got to know that these days, tents, they come with windows, and they come with clear walls, and they come with ceiling treatments and chandeliers and LED lighting. I mean, when you walk inside, you would have no idea that it's an actual tent. And oh, by the way, porta potties, they actually are trailers now that are air conditioned with granite countertops and multiple
Oh,
stalls.
right.
So the ones that you see at Gasparilla or at Walks, not necessarily what you have to have if you're
Got
at your home. So
Okay.
we've done a lot of that. I just did a bat mitzvah last month at a hotel in Tampa. And we actually did all of their decor and florals too, because we expanded our business 2 years ago to incorporate that side. So if you're having flowers for an event, that's something we can handle. Granted, it is Tuesday and Valentine's Day is Thursday. Please don't call me if you need a dozen roses sent to your wife, because that's not what we do.
Got that. Okay.
But we did, it was a magical forest kind of theme.
Okay.
So with
Ooh.
lighting, when you walked into the room, it looked like a forest, because we had the gobos with all the leaves and the branches and trees. So it looked like there was trees projected on the ceilings and the walls. We did these great centerpieces that were branches, and we spray painted them and hung dendrobium orchids from them and crystals, because, it's magical. You have to have crystals. and just a lot of different themed decor. So, you can really take any kind of concept and make it have that wow factor, make it look like it belongs on a reality show that has platinum in the in the title, even if your budget is only gold or silver.
Sure. Okay, I got that. Okay, so what I'm hearing you say then is that various themes, whatever the theme is for the year, maybe for your business, or your wedding or party, whatever it is, you can incorporate that somehow into the decor that you're bringing into the room. You talked about draping and how you can make something a standard white wall look elaborate and gorgeous.
Right. Lighting will transform any room into, it's probably one of the biggest wow factors you can do is bring in lighting.
Mhm.
It's a little pricey because it's extensive in the labor and the setup,
Sure.
but it transforms a hotel ballroom into a magical forest.
That's fabulous. Wow, that is totally outstanding. Is there anything else that we haven't talked about today that you'd like to share with our listeners about you or your company and how you can help them?
Well, I think you're very thorough. Thank you for that. We do have a blog on our website that we put tips and different things that they can visit. Also, Events by Divine Creations and Flowers by Divine Creations on Facebook. They can come and like us, and we post pictures and different ideas and different things like that. So those are invitations I would invite anybody to join.
That's terrific. And Valerie is also a network, again, a member of BNI. So you can find lots of information about her there if you are a BNI person. And you can, again, find her at www.tampaeventplanner.com, or you can give her a call at 813-839-5824. No event too big or too small, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
And she's wonderful. She gets the job done, and her affairs are absolutely amazing. So you definitely want to give her a call and have her work on your next event. You've been listening to Go Mind Your Business here on the All Your Business radio show, part of the Talkwad Network, sponsored today by Extreme Marketing Concepts, putting your business in front of the hungry herd of buyers who are looking for you. We can help get your phones ringing by calling 813-863-1452. We appreciate the time that you gave in listening today, and we look forward to seeing you next time. And until then, I invite you to go mind your business. Have a great day. Take care, everybody.
Thank you for listening to Go Mind Your Business with Terry Bork, presented by Extreme Marketing Concepts. If you want to drive more traffic, dominate the market, and crush your competition, find out how by visiting our website, www.extrememarketingconcepts.com. And join Terry next time for another episode of Go Mind Your Business.